Hello, this is Dale, and I want to go over beginner problem. Okay, that I find when I help people correct stuff, and it's all. This is video is going to be a short video about origins, and so let me go up here. Okay, now I have my everything is off on a second monitor. So what I'm going to do is go over here to my drawing tools, and I'm going to make square, and I'm going to call it red. It's a nice red square. And as you can see, this little thing here, this is my origin. Let me bring over the tools. Okay. So you have the origin control here. And that's my origin. But as I go to turn this, okay, you'll see another little crosshairs, okay, and that's the origin of the points. And as you can see, I can move this origin, let's see, and if I'm rotating it, it's going to rotate on the origin of the points, not the origin of the layer. If I go to the layer, on the other hand, and I rotate it, come on, let me get the rotation tool. It rotates on the origin of the layer. Now, this stuff can bite you real quick, okay? Because what happens is that you'll make a layer, and you'll make another layer, and you're like, let's all combine these into a group. So let me go into make a bone layer and add this into a bone layer. Okay, and let's add a bone to this. Okay, let's add just one bone. Okay, now I got a pretty big bone here, but the point of this is, if I go here, okay, and I got to get off layer 0. So let me get off layer 0 and show you. Now the origin is actually at the tip of the bone. Okay, but if I go into the layer and move it, I'm moving it from the center of whatever the calculation is for these points. But if I go to the layer, even though it's in a, I'm moving it on this origin point. Okay, but you notice on this, the bone layer has another origin point. So now you can rotate it. Let's see if I give me the rotation tool in the corner. Come on, there it is. So now it's rotating on a different origin point. The way you keep this straight is that, and when you start moving stuff around, and let's go off, and let me delete all the motion on here, and let's go back to frame 0. I'm back on frame 0, okay, and you notice nothing changes now, okay, and the way I keep this straight is, first thing you do is when you get a character and you start drawing him, okay, now let's see what happens if I bring this character away for the box with the bump. What you want to do is keep the origin straight, okay, meaning that you see now this box, see how this is like at an angle even though the box is square, okay? And if I move the origin back to the center, it's still screwed up. So what happened is that I've changed the origin's um, position so that the natural position for it to be squared is here. So let me go back into the points, and I'm going to move the points, and I'm going to rotate that back to now it's centered again. So that when I go back to the layer, it's pretty much straight again. And now you're going to say to me, well, you know, what does this matter? Okay? I'll give you an example of how this origin can bite you. Okay? And it'll drive you insane. You're like, the program's broken, the program's broken. And you swear to God, it is. But let me show you an example of a little project I'm working on. Okay, cancel. I'm just going to go to this other file. Now, this guy, okay, originally is over here. Okay, and I had him walking across the screen. But for the moment, I want him in the center, and I'm going to have him walk in place. And if I pull down the timeline, of course, my timeline's off the screen. Oops, what's going on here? You see that leg going all over the place? And the problem is that if you look at my hierarchy on this, the dog's all in one layer, okay? And the top layer is controlling basically the body, but the front and rear legs, okay, are controlled by separate bones and separate layers. And what's happening here is that when I go to manipulate this bone, wow, look what's going on. Okay, that bone's going right around in a circle, this bone. Now, there's no way there's any hierarchy attached to it because it's on a separate layer, and you cannot control one bone from another through a hierarchy. Once you start going into another layer, okay, they separate. Okay? But obviously, it didn't do it here because there's something going on. All right, you can see how if I want to close the mouth up, my front leg here is going all over the place. Now, how do I fix this? I fixed it the same way I did the other one. Let's see if I'm getting the right leg. Okay, this is the correct leg. And I'm going to go over here, and I'll take this origin, which is way over here, and I want to put it towards the center of that um, the, layer. Okay, so it's in the center of the layer now, instead of way off in left field. Okay, and let me go back up to the dog layer, and let me manipulate the bone now. You notice now it's only getting a slight pull forward, which is probably not too bad for this animation, and it's pretty much not circling around. And if I go back and I put this, let's say I wanted to, like, if I put it way over here, and I go back up to the dog, and I manipulate it, it's also not doing it. Okay? So it can drive you crazy, because if I put the origin about right here, you can notice now this bone is now affecting it, this layer. Okay? So beware of origins and try to keep them straight. Don't manipulate the origin of something unless you need it to be manipulated. Okay? Stay with the origins of, let's see, let me get the body here. That's a pretty big thing. So when you're looking at, say, moving this, you have the origin in the center of the body. Okay? Don't, you know, don't be moving. And if you have the origin, say, let's take a look at this here. Now you see the origin of this body is way over here. And if you're having problems manipulating it, okay, first thing you want to do is take your origin and put it where the body is. And then you can see how the layer is now controlling around it, and you have the center controlled because the origin's way over here, and now you have, let me see, come on, there we go. Now it's moving way over here. So that's just, and this is the problem I see. People start animating with it like this, and then wondering why it's not working, because I'm doing like a Toon Boom thing with pegs. Okay? It's not Toon Boom. We're not using the layers for manipulation. Okay? You want to stay with basically the points and using origins of the points and using bones if you want to offset the origin for manipulation. So, hey, thanks for watching, okay? And I hope this helps a lot of people who are just starting out and those who have had a little experience, go like, maybe it's the origin that's messing everything up. Hey, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.